Welcome back to the Rhonda Swan Show. Wake up, New York City. Well, we are back. It's still a little chilly, but it's definitely heating up with the topic today because my next guest is Sheena White. She is a seasoned business strategist, fractional CFO, and profitability expert dedicated to helping entrepreneurs turn revenue into real wealth. As the founder of Your Pocket CFO, she works with service-based businesses to improve cash flow, increase profit margins, and build scalable financial systems that support long-term growth. With a background in owning and operating blue-collar businesses, Sheena brings practical, real-world insights to the financial strategies she implements for her clients. QuickBooks certified and formally certified in Profit First and Scaling Up, Sheena specializes in simplifying complex financial data so business owners can make confident decisions. She is also the creator of Cash Flow Empire and Pretty Smart Business, programs designed to help entrepreneurs build profitable, sustainable companies. Through her work, Sheena empowers business owners to create financial clarity, operational strength, and lasting prosperity. Let's go meet Sheena. Well, Sheena, welcome to New York City and welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How was your trip?
It's good, except for craziness, and now it's so cold. What is happening?
I know, look at us standing here in New York City. It's chilly, and but this has been the theme. However, your topic is super hot, and I absolutely love talking with you about cash flow and about saving and helping us protect our assets and our revenue. But I want to ask you, so why would you say so many successful business owners still struggle with cash flow and profitability even when their revenue keeps growing?
I think because whatever you focus on is what grows. So people are so focused on revenue, more revenue. They're not really thinking about their cash flow and their profitability because, all these things tell you sales, sell more. That's how you grow. But you need to be able to reinvest. And so you need cash flow. You need to actually have profit at the end of the day. That's what a business is all about, right?
Right.
And so they're just so focused on the one thing. And so that's what's growing.
Wow, that makes a lot of sense. And you think about a lot of business owners are also so new to the game. That's really the only target that they have.
Yeah.
But let's talk about some of their mistakes, right? Because some of the biggest financial mistakes that you actually see entrepreneurs that are making every single day that prevent them from building the real wealth in their business.
Yeah. So the biggest mistake I see is people just focusing on what's in the bank account.
Okay.
They're not thinking ahead to tomorrow, to next week, to next quarter, next year. They're thinking about today. And it's just like when you're going to the gym, right? You have to go every single day. You have to make a plan. You can't just go to the gym and say, I'm going to lift weights today. Oh, I'm going to lift this one because it's right here.
Right.
It's not a really great plan to, build muscle or, and so it's the same with your money. You have to create a financial plan. You have to have someone looking out, projecting out. What are we doing in 3 months? What are we doing in 6 months? What are we doing in the next year to really make that a reality? Just like the gym.
Yeah, absolutely. And how did you get into this industry and why are you so passionate about it?
So many months ago, I actually had an accountant embezzle all of my tax money.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
An accountant of all people too, right?
So this is the craziest part though. I was in sales, so I was not an accountant.
Right.
I was exactly what to talk, doing more of that. I was a salesperson in my business and I owned a concrete company and we found out our accountant embezzled all of our tax money. And so then I had the IRS on speed dial for a year. It was not a joyous occasion to have the IRS on speed dial. But the best thing came out of it was I had to take a look at all of my numbers. I had to really delve into my business and say, you know what? I'm a smart girl. I can figure this out. And I gave myself basically an MBA in accounting that year through books from the library because I was broke and I owed the IRS a ton of money. And I took my business from 4% to 24% profit in one single year. And I made an extra $100,000 in profit that year. And so now I help others do the same.
Wow, I absolutely love it. So where do you think that the mistakes that your clients have, especially when they're building their wealth, and let's say like for you, like you run into a situation like this, right? What would be the first thing that you would tell someone to do? Because you weren't prepared for that.
No.
Right?
No, not at all.
How do you prepare for like those days when something might happen and you find yourself in a pit of despair, if you will?
Yeah. I think the first thing is wherever you are is just a place to start, right? You have to look at your numbers. You have to be intimate with them, you know? You have to look at your P&Ls. So many people, I know when I start working with them, I say, when was the last time you looked at your P&L? And they literally will say, I don't know. And you have to be looking at your P&L. You have to be looking at these things all the time. You know, that's why I do monthly reports with my clients. We do sessions like to make sure that they are seeing things every single month and we're seeing where things are going and we're really co-creating this financial future together.
I love that. And that's actually really such sage advice, because oftentimes I see business owners don't even know what a P&L is sometimes, right? And they're relying on their accountant to do it, but your accountant actually embezzled, right?
No, my accountant, stole all my money.
That's the thing that people don't even realize. They trust into others. So oftentimes I hear you talk about turning a business into wealth building, a wealth building engine, if you will, instead of just a job. What does that actually look like in practice?
Yeah, so I mean, a job pays you to show up, right? But an asset pays you whether you show up or not.
There you
so
go.
we have to take our businesses and we have to first get ourselves out of them. I tell all my clients that the number one thing that I'm trying to do is make them completely useless to their business. And it's really hard as an entrepreneur, right? Because your business is kind of your baby.
Yeah.
And so just like as a parent, you have to grow up your kid and then you kind of have to be superfluous to them. You have to do the same.
Oh, so true.
Right? You're like,
So
my kid, because isn't your daughter 18?
She is.
Yeah, so you know, right? You're growing her
And
up.
my business is 23 years, right?
Yeah,
so there's times I'm separating from it, then I go, oh, I want to come back in, you know?
Exactly. So we have to be a good parent to our business.
Yeah.
We got to grow it up right, and then we have to let it lead a life without us.
Oh, you're so
as
right.
an asset. And once we create that asset, then we can go and we can take money out of it, and then we can actually buy more assets. And then that's how we grow wealth, right? We buy cash flowing assets.
I love that. Oh, I love that so much. So what are some of the early then warning signs, if you will, that a business has profits that are leaky, right? Leaky profits. What should some of the owners do to start actually fixing that?
So one of the big things I see is people who meet with their accountant for tax time, which is right around now, and then they're like, how does it say I made this much money?
But there's no money in the bank.
Where did my money go, right?
Yeah.
So if you're saying to yourself, where did my money go? Then you have to look at that and really delve into the line items.
Yeah.
Where is the money going? What is happening? Do we need 17 different technologies, you know? All these different AIs sound great, but $20 here, $20 there. I mean, it does add up, and you have to really say to yourself, what am I using? What is actually bringing the business forward instead of just fluff?
Yeah, wow, that is so big. Because you're right, like we're getting close to tax time. So we're going through that. I was like, we have like $18,000 worth of subscriptions. And then I mean, people don't realize that, especially like you said, the $20, the ChatGPTs, the Claudes, they really start to add up, and it really matters at the of your bottom line. What is kind of one of the first things and recommendations you would give then for a business owner that might feel overwhelmed, especially right now, and a little bit nervous and building their first financial systems? What's your best recommendation for them?
Don't freak out.
Don't freak out.
Don't freak out. That's number one, right? Just like how you build a personal budget, your business can be the same.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be scary. It's only as scary as you let it be. And I always tell people wherever you are is just a place to start, right? And don't have any shame or make it feel like it's so hard. Because it is hard. And then when you get going and you get into it and you just start looking at things, then you start to understand more. I mean, as I said, I was in sales. I was not in accounting. And now I run over $100 million a year through my clients. Yep. So, it's a path and you just have to start. And so just take it one step at a time and just look at it one thing at a time. And every dollar that you can cut out of your budget is another dollar in profit. And then, or you can take that money and reinvest it so that you can build more revenue.
Yeah, I love it. And, it's interesting. I, obviously you have a daughter, I have a daughter, and we're, teaching her how to, not just hold their money, but help their money make money for them and have legs, right? And the financial literacy, I think, is probably one of the least talked about conversations in schools for our kids. What's a good advice that you have also for parents, you being a parent, of how do we teach our kids to start learning how to grow their money?
I mean, teach them about earning money, about entrepreneurship, teach them how to then take that money and invest it. Like I'm, hopefully going to be buying some investment properties for my kids. Like when they go to college, I'm actually going to buy a house in that town and then rent it to them.
Yeah.
And then rent them rooms to other people. And then once they're graduated, that will be their graduation present.
Yeah. Okay, so you've got some new things that are coming out as well.
Yes.
What can we look forward to and what can we do to find it?
Okay, so I am launching a brand new platform for female entrepreneurs called Pretty Smart Business. So as a 2-time domestic violence survivor myself, I know that financial freedom is the key to physical freedom. So if we could get more money in the hands of more great women, then amazing things can be done. So Pretty Smart Business is all about money and female entrepreneurs and how we're gonna make more of it and really change the world together.
Oh my goodness, I love it. Where do they find it? How do they find you? Everyone needs to know. You need to follow this Pocket CFO and now Pretty Smart Business.
Yeah, so on Instagram, Pretty Smart Business, or prettysmartbusiness.com.
There you go. Well, ladies, you now know where to go. It's all about growing our revenue, increasing our cash flow, and creating more financial futures. Thank you again, Sheena, for all the work that you do. Don't forget to be unstoppable and stay wild.